Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to yet another session for the Thinking and Destiny. Very happy to be here. We are almost like, I think, 20th episode of this. Before we go into the actual wisdom that is shared by Percival, let us connect to his consciousness. Let us do a 5-minute meditation. Please sit in a meditative posture. Cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. If you have eyewear, please remove it. We don't need it now. Please observe your soft, tranquil breath. How we are taking our vital energy into our body and how that energy is leaving. Practice taking complete breath, a full breath. Fill up your lungs like a balloon. Slowly fill up your lungs like a balloon and exhale very slowly. Like Percival mentioned, if we are not connecting to our source energy, then we are losing many things. Energy is everywhere. It is there everywhere. You just need to feel it. Need to absorb that. We don't need food to get energy. You just need empty your mind and absorb the cosmic energy. Take the cosmic energy and connect to your soul energy so that you can transform yourself from doer to the knower portion. Once you reach to your knower portion, you are an intelligent being. You don't need to go outside to become intelligent. You're already intelligent. You just need to uncover unintelligent unit, nature unit that you have on the top of your intelligent. Meditation is a tool. Uncover of ignorance and take us to the knowledge within. Don't find happiness. You're already a happy being, an intelligent being. But you are thinking you are just the doer. You are thinking happiness is okay. This tool will uncover that unintelligent from you and take you from doer to doer. Let us all connect to that source energy and become blissful. Please rub your palms and keep it on your eyes. And slowly open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face and ready to get the new wisdom from Pasiva.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prasanna garu. Thank you for the meditation. And let us pay our humble pranams to our beloved Guruji, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and Swarnamala Patri ma'am. Namaste, friends. I'm Deepika here, your host for today. Welcome to another session of Thinking on Destiny, organized by PMC USA. Let us look at the recap for the last week. The topic we discussed was possible chaos in the world. It is the last section in the chapter Physical Destiny. So here the author Pasival explains in what situations, what creates, what happens, like how the chaos is created in the world. So when majority of human thoughts are opposite to universal law and order, where the acts of every person are limited by ignorance and inertia and often stimulated by self-interest, most people desire laws of protection on one hand and are willing to break them if they can do without much danger to themselves. There would be soon chaos in the world. So who manages these situations? The intelligence and triune selves. They govern the affairs according to the law of thought. So only they can manage the order of events by selecting the time and place for them so that the human race will be preserved and continued opportunity will be given to the doers in the human beings. Then we also looked at how intelligence calls for a fire or a water guard for the destruction of the race by water or volcanic action. This happens when the power of thoughts of the immoral influences so as to make any recovery hopeless. When the people of a country or the world determine by their thoughts and acts that they will not live by the law and order, they will use force against law and injustice, or when they will give rein to the senses and indulge in lawlessness, drunkenness, that would be the beginning of the end of the civilization. But individuals are now awakening to their responsibilities in life. They understand that their lives are related to lives of others. They cannot live and enjoy separately. Their dependence is dependent on others. So independence and responsibility will open the way and bring with it more light, the conscious light, which will be the entrance to the new way of life. The way of life that can eventuate in the establishment of the permanent civilization of self-government on this earth. So this was the topic. Few points we discussed. And also Prasanna garu was saying that it is because of the virtuous people on the earth that the balance is happening in the earth. So that was a good point. So let me invite Prasanna for this today's topics, where we are going to revise the topics of physical destiny as well as a few more topics to move on to our next chapter, psychic destiny. And followed by, we will have explanation on triune cells by Bala garu also later. So Prasanna garu, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you so much for a crisp and clear summary that we have gone through the last class. Yeah, as we said, like we have concluded our session of the physical destiny. We have seen all the things. And before I go and just revise the physical destiny, just I like to go back to the human body, because we have discussed this human body in the first or second episodes. But I just brought you a chart, and thanks to Chandra sir, who has prepared the chart and readily shared with me when I asked. So I'll share you the chart. This we will discuss once again how that human body and how this, because physical destiny, when I discuss, you are able to relate so much, because physical destiny is the one that which we can see visibly with our eyes. So the things which we can visibly see our eyes, we are able to relate easily, because we are all human beings and we are all we got used to look outwards for anything. It could be happiness, or it could be relationship, it could be friendships, or anything. We are looking outward. So we are not looking inward, right? So because of that, the physical destiny, it is easy to understand. Whereas if you come to the what is the psychic destiny, what is the mental destiny, what is this noetic destiny, if you want to do it, we may need to understand more about our human body and the things. So just let me revise in a couple of classes what we have done so that it may be easy to go over this psychic destiny and all. I'll just give you the human body thing so that Balagar got prepared with the triune self thing, right? So before we go there, before triune self, I'll just give you some summary. Well, let me share my screen, and if you need any thing, just ask me, because if there is any, if you're not able to see or anything, but I hope you'll be able to. Okay. This is the concerning the human body, right? This is the human body if we take. So what is human body? Okay, here, what is human body and the construct of human body? So we will go here. First, this step, we'll go here. What is human body? A human body is, what is it? A model or a plan of changing universe. This is a model for the changing universe. This human body is a model where the nature units pass through the series of fourfold states of the nature. The nature units, whatever that nature units, right? So human body is made up of these nature units. So they are passing through this series of the fourfold state, the nature matter only, that like a water, fire, all the things. Okay. So if I go here, this is the 4 physical masses of the units constitute the human body. If you go, if you remember, you saw this one, right? This is the human body. The physical atmosphere of the human is made up of emanations from the fourfold physical body, which extend from the few inches of considerable distance. These are all the fourfold and extend. These are all the fourfold path is only the human body. This is how the human body, when I show in the beginning, you may not able to understand. Now you see all the physical four folds are nothing, are made up of this human body. Okay. These are this fourfold constitution of the human body and the state of the constant action and reaction. This is a state of constant action and reaction, and the fourfold constitution of the spheres of the world and the planes. So all the 3 together is coming here. So let us go here one by one. If I take, so the fourfold constitution of the human body, if I take, what is that fourfold? The visible solid body and the 3 inner invisible bodies. So the 3 inner invisible bodies will go here. The visible solid body is the one that we are actually seeing, right? The radiations from these 4 masses are the bodies extend as a zones. Then that 4 different that zones we will see here in this picture. We will see around the solid body together they make up of the physical atmosphere of the human body. Around this thing, physical atmosphere will be made up of. In addition to this physical atmosphere made up of the nature units, there are 3 other atmospheres. What are the atmospheres we have seen? Noetic, mental, all those things, right? So these things you can see here. The atmospheres of this the triune self here. If you go, just see here. This is the one. Lighter world, the knower. So first starting, if you take the physical atmosphere of the human being, very small portion. If you see here, right, this is the physical atmosphere of the human being, the human physical world. This is the human physical world. Then next come to the form world, the doer. This is the form. Here comes the psychic. This is the physical world where you can see with your visible eyes. Then comes to the psychic world. Then this is a doer portion. Then if you go a bit higher, then the thing is the thinker portion, whereas the life world, which is the mental world, mental atmosphere. And if you go, that is the atmosphere of the triune self is all the 3 together, psychic, mental and noetic. All the 3 together is the atmosphere of the triune self. So the next, if you go to the next level, the light world, that is where we all wanted to go. In the meditation part, you feel yourself very light and you're going somewhere without the bodies and all, right? That's where you are the light world. The noetic are the mental and physical atmospheres of the human are those portions of the atmospheres of the triune self that reach into the physical atmosphere of the human. Here is the physical and this is good, the light atmosphere. And when you go to the light world, it is the knower portion. Okay, these are the worlds. Now we have seen this physical destiny. Now we have to see the form world, psychic destiny, mental destiny and the noetic destiny. How these destinies will be created. How this human world, right? How these destinies will be created. How the doer portion thing only we have seen. So we will see the other things. So this portion. So from here, the three things are coming, right? The noetic, the psychic, and the mental. They reach into the physical atmosphere. All the three things reach into the physical atmosphere. At the end, all the three are again going into the reach into the physical atmosphere. These are within the radiations of the fourfold visible solid body and are here spoken as the atmospheres of the human. These are the atmospheres of the human. This mental, psychic, and noetic are taking as atmospheres of the human. So there are three forms, that is light form, life form, and form one. Form world, life world, and light world. Okay. So this is the human body, and which is the fourfold atmosphere that we have seen. Okay, now let us go to the next one. Scrolling up. Okay, this is construct. Oh, sorry. Okay, construct of human body. If I take, right, the human body is built up of the four sections or the four cavities. This also we have seen, right? The head, the thorax, and the abdomen and pelvis. These are the four cavities or the four sections of the human body. Head is relates to the light plane. Head is always relates to Sahasrara, that is related to the light plane. The thorax relates to the life plane, whereas the abdomen relates to the form plane, and the pelvis relates to the physical plane. That is what if you remember the chakras, also the pelvis, the root chakra, it is related to the physical, your security, all the things it is related to. Abdomen, swadhisthana, it's related to the form plane, and then the thorax relates to the life plane with the thorax, whereas from the heart and above, right? So that one, the head, Sahasrara, which is related to the light plane. These relate to the four planes of the physical. All are related to the four planes of the physical world. Similarly, these four cavities of the body relate to respectively the physical, form life, and the light world. To the four worlds of the sphere of the earth. It is related to the four worlds of the sphere of the earth. Similarly, these four cavities of the human are respectively to the four spheres of earth. What are those? The earth is grounding, the root, and the water is the form, and the air is the thorax, and fire is the head. And the four great spheres of the elements are fire, air, water, and earth. This is how our human construct is related to the different forms. This we have learned in a different chapters. We just kept it in a one portion. Now let us go to from the human body construct, four cavities to go. Let us go here. Okay, now from the human body, the four sections, right? From four sections, if we go, the human body, there are four systems. What are the four systems if we go? The systems related respectively to the same planes of the world and spheres as to do sections. The digestive system. The first one is the digestive system of the physical plane, of the physical world, and of the earth. So that is the digestive system, the bottommost one. Then circulatory system of the form plane, the form world, that is represents the water. The respiratory system of the life plane, the life world, and the air. And the next one is the generative system of the light plane, light world, and the fire. So these are all the four systems are related to the four forms again. So digestive system related to the physical world, circulatory system related to the form world, which is the element is water, physical element is earth, and the respiratory system, which is related to the life world, which is the air is the element, and the generative system is the light plane, and the element is the fire. Okay, here throughout the body, how the nature goes, you can see how the nature is going. If you see here, right, this is the vagus nerve. parasympathetic nerve that it goes, right? So this is the spinal cord, if you are seeing. Okay, the left of the spinal column is indicated one of the two cords of involuntary nervous system. Here it is going to the involuntary nervous system. It is not voluntary, it is automatically doing its work. From it are seen are the extended widespread ramifications of the nerve fibers, which form the plexus that are spread like a spider webs over the digestive end until digestive end. The other organs of the body cavities, the solar plexus, they are joined by the vagus nerve of the voluntary system. They are all joined by the voluntary system by this vagus nerve. This is how the body construction is happened. Okay. Next one is so from here the involuntary nervous system, from the communications with all the body part, and for the performance of the involuntary nervous system, there are the four systems are acting. To perform this involuntary nervous system, all the four systems to be added. So what are those four? All these phenomena belongs to related to the nature side of the universe. All these four systems belong to nature side, and so the matter of which the body built, by which it is maintained by the nature side. So here it is saying the human body is by the nature side. The human body is the meeting ground of the nature side and intelligent side of the changing universe, and the body is there a continuous interaction between two. What he is saying is body is the one where it is meeting the intelligent side and the nature side. The body is in between, but this body is changing. That is what it's saying. Every for 4 months, your body cells are getting changed. You are not the body. Your body is not the body that what you have been born. Every cell, those cells are changing every day and day. Only thing is we are thinking that we are constant, and we are actually thinking again and again, making those thoughts only in our mind, and we are making the new body also. Whenever the cells are changing, we are just making it. If you change that, no, I am not that. If you are changing as the cells are changing, you can create the destiny. Okay, before we conclude, let me go and explain other parts that I just brought it for you. So the digestive system, right here, if you say here, let me stop here. The systems Okay, the systems relate to the respectively the same plane as the words and the locations. So what are those locations here? One of the four systems. So the first one is physical, earth plane. The digestive system is governed by the sense of smell. Digestive system is governed by which sense? It is governed by sense of smell. The sense of smell is operated by the element of earth. So here digestive system, here the sense is smell and the element is earth. And here the circulatory system is by sense of taste, and the taste is governed by the element water. And then respiratory system is sense of hearing, and the hearing is by the air. The element is air. And the generative system is by the system of the sense of the sight, and the sight is by the fire. Element is fire. Each of these four senses are passive and active. All these four senses are in the passive and active. For example, in seeing, when the third eye is turned towards the object. For example, in seeing, when the third eye is turned towards an object. So it is not so it is a passive as well as active. So when you are actually active, the third eye is open and you are seeing, you'll be able to see the object. The sense of sight is passively receives the impression. By active light or a fire, this impression aligned to that is seen. So whenever your active light, suppose whenever your third eye is open, so you are able to see the object exactly how actually perceiving. Your perceiving will be different. Whenever you are seeing with the naked eyes, the object perception is different from whenever you are able to see with your third eye. That is what it is, active as well as passive. When you are activating your all the organs, then the perception, correct perception you can see. So to the matter in which the body is built, by which the maintained is of the nature side. Okay, so this is why why I just bring this up. Now, because when you are going, when we are learning this triune self, from where actually. So if you see, this is the body. The whole body was constructed, right? So how the body was constructed? What is the physical plane? What are the different planes? 4 planes. What are the different atmospheres? All this picture was very good to bring back or to bring all the knowledge. It is bringing in all the 4 systems, 4 senses, 4 elements, 4 atmospheres into the one, and it has connected to each and every one. Now I'll just give a pause if you have any questions on this particular topic. Before because when Balagar is explaining a triune self again, you need to understand all these things before we go there. Triune self. So this is all the human body, which is in the unintelligent nature side, which is the changing world. And the other side is the intelligent units. The other side is intelligent unit. We are traveling this nature side to that intelligent unit via AIA units. Via AIA units, we are traveling to that intelligent part. So once you travel to that intelligent part, you are become a complete triune self. Once you become a complete triune self, you are become the part of the government that it is being operated. So is it clear? Like, am I making sense? I'm not taking up the thing because you may be asking any questions from the diagram. Any questions, Deepika Garu? Are we good?
It's good. For me, it is good. Anybody else? Friends, if you want to ask anything. It's good. The picture is very nice. Like everything, it is bringing into the same.
Very clear. And
yeah.
very...
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, it's very clear by seeing the table, whatever you're explaining. It's easy to understand.
All this we learn in a different chapters, right? So now because we have all completed those chapters, I thought it will be a good to connect, keep it at one point, right? Now, before I go further, I'll just give the hand over to Balagaru because she wanted to, because now that we know all the things, she will say where the triune self is coming now, right? So we will listen that and then we will move on. Okay. Shall I stop it here, Balagaru, so you can take it?
Sure.
Later, can you share this table into the group too?
Sure. I'll share all the material, whatever I'm explaining, I'll share it in the group.
Thank you.
Once again, thanks to Chandra Madali sir who prepared this table.
Yeah, and this is all like you can connect to each other and it summarizes the whole thing in a map.
Yes.
You want me to go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, now let us know about our triune self. So here the triune self means the conscious self in the body. It's called the doer in the body. And this is the immortal doer. And also, this immortal doer in the body, we can call it as Jivatma. For our convenience, we can say, this is the Jivatma. And you are aware of your body and all other our nature by means of our senses. Normally, we use our senses to know what's going on outside our world. So because of the doer uses all these senses to know. Because of senses, you are able to function in this physical world. That is very important for us. That's why in Jagrata Avastha, we use our senses. You function by thinking. This thinking is prompted by your feeling and desire. So physical activity is merely the expression of the exteriorization of your inner activity. So that is how, when we think, that comes into action, by exteriorization. Your body with senses is the instrument. It's called individual nature machine. This mechanism is impelled by your feeling and desire. So this is the feeling and desire causes the exteriorization. Your senses are living beings. That's what he calls. Your senses are living beings, invisible units of nature matter. So here he says, Percival says, they are the living beings, even though we don't consider them, but they are invisible units of nature matter. They are entities though unintelligent, are conscious as their function. Even though, they're invisible units of nature matter, we think they are not conscious, but they are, at their function, they are very conscious. That's what he's saying. Man's lifelong quest is to know his real self, his identity. That's what, we all think. This real self ever present as counselor and judge, and speaks from the heart as conscience, and duty as rightness and reason, and as law and justice. So that's what, from our heart, it comes out. Without which man would be like an animal. So that's what in human being, that differs us, that the intellect. That intellect causes differentiation between an animal and a human. So this real immortal self in the book called Triune Self. It is one indivisible unit of individual trinity, which has three parts. That is the knower part, thinker part, and the doer part. So three together, it constitutes the Triune Self. So the only a portion of the doer part can enter the, our animal-like body and make that into a human body. That is why it has that intellect part. This is termed as the doer in the body. So that's what, he calls it as doer. So this a thinker, be basically the doer part, thinker part, and the knower part. So again, the doer part also, it is, like we just now saw from the table, it's in psychic atmosphere, and also in the form world, like we saw in that round circle picture. It's, the doer part has the psychic atmosphere, and it is in the form world. And thinker part is in the the doer part, thinker part is in the mental atmosphere. It is in the life world. And the knower part, which is in the noetic part, which is the knower atmosphere, and it is in the light world. I hope I didn't confuse it. So basically, the three parts are the knower, thinker, and doer. And the knower also, the knower has, let me say from the doer part, doer has a desire and feeling, and one is active and one is passive. So the feeling part is active, and the desire part is, let me see, desire, desire part is active and feeling is the, desire is the active and feeling is the passive. And so the other thinker, when it comes to thinker, it has two, rightness and reason. Rightness is the passive and reason is active. And the knower part, the knower part has two, I-ness and selfness. So I-ness is active, which causes ego, and selfness is the passive. So when I-ness and selfness balances, and it causes wisdom. Otherwise, when in imbalanced version, it causes the ego. So again, when it comes to feeling and desire, feeling is more dominated in men, and desire is more dominated in women. That's what Percival says. So here the triune self has in the doer part governs the body mechanism by voluntary nervous system. Just now we saw in the table also in the picture. And the doer part has its station in the kidneys and adrenals. So the feeling comes from the kidneys and the desire comes from the adrenals. So the thinker part contacts the rightness in the heart and the reason from lungs. So whenever we have the rightness, it comes from the heart. And whenever we have the reason, he says it comes from our lungs. And then the knower part barely contacts the rear part of the pituitary body and the pineal body in the brain. So that's where this I-ness and selfness, stays there. So this triune self contacts voluntary nervous system as a whole, and the thinker of each human, he is individual divinity. AIA belongs to triune self. There is no dimension for that, and it is not destroyed. So, and then here he talks about breath form. Breath has two. One is breath and the other is form. So here the breath form causes the from nature to the causes of conception to a human world. And it's stationed in front of the front portion of the pituitary and lives in involuntary nervous system and communicates between triune self and nature, which is the breath form. The breath form lives in involuntary nervous system, communicates between the triune self and the nature. And triune self in perfect balance causes the wisdom. So far, I hope it is clear. And then I will explain a little bit more. So in each human body, the embodied doer as an inseparable part of its triune self. The thinker, knower parts of each triune self are in the eternal realm of permanence. The thinker and knower are in the realm of permanence, not in the physical body, which pervades our human world. The doer in the body controlled by the senses and by body-mind, because we have three minds. One is body-mind, one is feeling mind, one is desire mind. So the senses are controlled by body mind. Therefore, it is not conscious of its ever-present thinker and knower parts. As long as it is contacts with the senses, it is not conscious of its ever-present thinker and knower parts, even though they are there. The objects of the senses blind them. Therefore, cannot see beyond objective forms. It fears to free from the flesh and it stands alone. When the embodied doer is ready and willing to dispel the glamour of the sense illusion, then its thinker and knower are always ready to give the light for the self-knowledge. That's how it happens. According to Percival, there are only 4 senses, and also he considers the feeling as a sense. Sight, hearing, taste, and smell. For each sense, there is a special organ, but for feeling, no special organ. And also, he doesn't consider Akasha, the sky, or touch as a 5th sense. Feeling and desire must always be considered together, inseparable, like 2 sides of a coin. They always go together. In man, feeling aspect is dominated by desire. In woman, the desire aspect is dominated by feeling. So the moment we succumb to feeling and desire, the doer forgets that he is beyond the body. That's what we just mentioned. I just mentioned before. So all human relationships are dependent upon the functioning of body minds of men and women in their relations to each other. So when it comes to relationships, we use mostly our body mind. 3 different minds are used for ways of thinking with conscious light, which is used by the doer in the body. One is body mind, one is feeling mind, one is desire mind. Mind is the functioning of intelligent matter. Therefore, mind does not function without doer. So that's what is. Body mind is intellect, equal to intellect or buddhi. It is the functioning of feeling and desire as the mover of physical nature and as the operator of the human body machine. Therefore, it is called body mind. So it is the functioning of feeling and desire as the mover of physical nature and as the operator of the human body machine. That's how they work together. And therefore, it is called body mind. The feeling mind and desire mind are the functioning of feeling and desire irrespective of the physical world. These 2 minds controlled by the body mind. So breath form is equal to, here we can also call breath form as subconscious mind, manages involuntary nervous system. Your body is literally the result of your thinking. Whatever health or disease you show, you make it by your thinking and feeling and desiring. Your present body or flesh body is actually an expression of your immortal soul, your breath form. It is an exteriorization of the thoughts of many lifetimes, a visible record of your thinking and doing as a doer until now. until this present moment. Man will one day attain conscious immortality and eventually regain a state of perfection. That's what he's saying. All of us, someday we will gain that perfection. Senses cannot satisfy your longing for peace. So that's why, he says senses always, causes some kind of, disturbance. So the reason is you are lost, but inseparable part of a consciously immortal triune self. So here saying, because you are not complete, you are separated from your whole self. That is why you are not at peace. Long ago, as feeling desired, the doer part left the thinker and knower parts of your triune self. But that's how you are separated. Therefore, you lost to yourself because you cannot understand yourself and therefore felt lonely at times. Because your doer part is separated from knower and thinker, that's why you are lost. Your real self will protect you when you allow the doer to shut your sense of objects. Your senses of objects, thinker and knower are always ready for your return to your permanent home. In this journey, you will not be satisfied with anything less than self-knowledge. That's what at that time, you will be satisfied only with your self-knowledge. You, as feeling and desire, a responsible doer of your triune self. So, we are responsible as feeling and desire for the doer of our triune self. And from this, your destiny is made. And how we think and, from that it comes our destiny. One must learn two great lessons from all life experiences. And that, he says, from these experiences, what we can learn, what we can do are, from all this, what to do and what not to do. That is how we have to think and decide. And then we had to use our senses correctly, and then eventually when we shut up and from outside world, when we go inside world, then we will get to our knower thinker part more, and the more light comes in and we can connect to our inner self. So that's all I have. But if any questions, I hope I made it clear.
Wonderful, wonderful, Bala ma'am.
Thank you.
So happy to hear that actually you people are like going inside and learning it, right? So it's very happy to hear triune self from you, ma'am. Very clearly explained how the doer portion, how we can progress from the doer portion to the knower portion, so that we can unite with the triune self. Triune self is nothing but we all the three. That is what actually I went a bit lower down when I'm explaining like spheres too. And ma'am started from knower, doer and thinker portion, how we can go for the triune self.
See, as long as we are in the doer portion, the light we cannot get that, access that light easily.
Access the light.
But in the form world, in the life world, it is diffused. When we go into that light world, it is more clear.
Yeah, that is the tool. So to go to that light world only, the meditation is the tool.
Yeah.
So we are using this tool because we cannot completely do your portion. We cannot go at one day, right? One day you cannot go out. You cannot stop all the doer portion and go to the light world. So meditation is the tool that you are actually trying to close senses. Close your eyes in the sense you are closing your senses. You are not looking outwards. You are looking inward. So you are closing your senses so that you can use your inner senses to go to that life world to light world.
Yes. Also,
exactly that we are doing.
Also, one way it is meditation helps, and the other way is sleep also. In sleep, we are in deep sleep, we are shutting off our senses.
Yes, exactly. That is why they say in Isha, in some Upanishad, there are 4 states. One is awake state, one is a sleep state, and the third is deep sleep state. And the 4th is Turiya state. Turiya state. These are the 4 states. In dream state. The second one is dream state and deep sleep state. So in the dream state,
Sushupna.
yes.
Yeah.
So in the deep sleep state, you are able to get, so you will say that, oh, today I slept like a baby.
Yeah.
I really slept very well. But who, when you slept, you are losing yourself. But who is that it is experiencing that deep sleepness? Who is that experience? Oh, today I got so many dreams. Who is that experiencing the dreams?
Yes.
So the Turiya Avastha is the ultimate Ananda Avastha, where you just went to that knower portion, right? That is where Turiya Avastha is a state where we are all trying to achieve the triune self, whatever it is, right? So that's where, like, I wonder, like, because in the ancient days, so many days that all the Upanishads, Vedas, for whatever the thought, the same thing was taught by Percival with more practical knowledge, with the practical examples. So the same thing, it is not something new that he has invented. The thing is, he experienced, but it gives us a kind of, what do you say, kind of confidence when he can achieve, we also can achieve. Previously, if somebody says like some Valmiki did it or some Sri Rama did it, oh, those are all the gods. So we are just separating from ourselves with them, and we are not actually going it. But if you are separating it, but when Percival did it, Percival has just lived with us. He just lived like 100 years ago. So when he can experience all these things, when he can go to that knower portion and can experience, why can't we? So it is all the same thing. It is all, if you go to the higher world, they say that there's nothing like past, present, future. It is all the happening in the same time, right? There's no time concept. But at least if to go to that state, right? So these are all the things it is happening. So if he can go, we can go. That kind of confidence and a practicality was induced in this book, so that we all can try to achieve it. Instead of when you learn this Vedanta, Upanishad is somewhere, Vedas are somewhere. We don't,
theory part somewhere,
theory
abstract.
part kind of thing. Yeah. So you are separating yourself. So that is somewhere, and we don't know whether it has happened or not. But this, you cannot say that it happened or not. Even in 20th century, when something happened, you can't say that it happened or not. Right?
Also,
so
he also acknowledged Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and also Tattvamasi. All this he acknowledged. He said only one thing he said, they did not explain because of this, how the nature unit, he knows that everything, our nature is connected to our body, but he said all these did not explain how.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This particular book is giving like all the things in a detailed manner, right? So, so if you don't have any questions, we can go back to our things, and we can explain a bit more. Shall we go back, or any questions, Deepika Garu?
Anybody wants to ask anything to Bala Madam or Prasanna, please feel free to unmute or raise your hands. I think it's good. It was clear, Prasanna Garu. Maybe you can go ahead with today's.
Yeah, I will just go.
In the end, if anybody wants to ask it, continue.
Yeah, we can continue. So it is continuing only. So let us see here, this form, right? So before we are actually going to the next psychic world, right? I am trying to make more concise manner so that the people can understand. This is what we have seen in my previous introductory slide, right? The unit descending from the elements. The first we are elements, the earth elements. From the earth elements, we are going to the sphere of fire, to the sphere of air, to the sphere of water, to the sphere of earth. We are descending. This is a descending part. Earth, fire is the light world. Fire to air to water to earth. And then fire is light world, air is life world, water is form world, and earth is physical world. From this, then through the 4 planes. What are the 4 planes? Light plane, life plane, form plane, and physical plane. From to 4 states: radiant state, airy state, fluid state, and the solid state. So the 3, and with its 3 invisible substrate, that radiant solid, airy solid are all the, and fluid solid, these are all the invisible, whereas solid is only the substrate that we can see. This is the descending nature. If you are descending, this is the nature side. Once you are descending it, then you are reaching to a point where it is a constant point. This point at this line is called AIA point. This is a neutral line. These are all the unintelligent side of it, and this is all the intelligent side of it. You are descending from here and going to the AIA unit. So because we have been using AIA unit for a long time, right? That's why I just wanted to the last degree of the nature unit as the breath form unit to the AIA degree in the unit essence. AIA, what is AIA? Is the name here given to a unit that is successfully progressed through each and every degree in being consciousness as it functions in the university of laws, in a perfect, sexless, immortal body which has graduated from the nature, and is on the intelligent side as a point or the line distinguishing from the nature side. So it is passed from nature side, it is passed from unintelligent side. If you reach to the AIA point, what he is saying is you are on the intelligent side. What is this passing? I told you one example. You are balanced. You are not distinguished. A person is a man or a woman. You are not. You are a sexless body. You are not in that particular form. You are able to, that whatever that we are saying, right? Last class, Rishagar explained like the Aham Brahmasmi state that we are reaching, right? So which means you are able to see everything and everything in one, everyone, you in everyone and everyone in you. If you are reaching to that particular state, you cross that nature side, you cross that unintelligent side. So once you are able to touch that point, right, a point, once you are able to touch, you are actually transformed, or you are actually crossed that nature unit. You are a perfect balanced state. Okay, then you reach to the point of AIA state. That is the intelligent side only. Once you reach to this intelligent side, then you will be knowing as a thinker, and then you will become as a knower. The thinker and knower are the other side, that is the intelligent side. This is an unintelligent side part, and this is the descendant as the nature, and this is the ascendant. This is ascendant on the intelligent side. Here you are a ascendant on the intelligent side. So how this is happening, we will see through a diagram, right? This is also, we all have done it, but I'm just showing you this. This is the form that we just explained in the previous. This is the plan of universe. If you see the plan of universe, how this is happening, we all seen this only. I'm just recollecting before we go. We are going to the psychic destiny. So here, there is a purpose and a plan of the universe that we know. For everything, there is a purpose and a plan. What is a purpose? A purpose, there is a symbol and there is a plan. The purpose is accomplished by, how does this purpose is accomplished? By law, by the law of which the plan is carried out. The purpose should be accomplished by the law which it should be carried out. You can achieve the purpose. Suppose if you want to earn $1,000, you can achieve the purpose in 100 ways. But you should achieve by the law, righteously, you should earn and achieve the purpose. Then only you have achieved the purpose. You can go and grab from somebody. You can go and put a gun and get them, not 1,000. You can go so many things, but you can go and work hard and get it. So what way you are getting? So the purpose, there is a simple plan. Through that law only you have to carry out that particular plan. Okay. This law is universal. This law is not actually whatever the by law which it is not different from you to me. It is the universal law. So by that law only we have to follow everything. The law is universal. It reaches all entities without exception. That's what I saw. Even the God is not an exception. If the God has taken a human life in this particular world, he is not an exception. He also has to follow this law. It's a must that he has to follow the law, and he will also have to have the consequences. This law, there is no exception for it. I have given an example of Sita in some other context, but if I take that example, the time will be over. So anywhere, even if the God was taken as a form of here, that Sita Mata or the Lord Sri Rama, nobody was an exception here. Once you've taken the birth, if you do any mistake, then you have to take that turn. So that is the law. Here you can say that in our Hindu mythology, you can say that it's a karma siddhantam, or here you can say that law. Here it rules the visible world of the change. It is ruling the visible world of the change. This Ra is ruling the total visible world of the change, and it affects the worlds and spheres beyond. It is affecting your worlds and the spheres beyond also. It affects the human beings according to the responsibility which can be changed to them. This law will affect the human beings according to the responsibility which can be charged to them. Suppose that's the example I said. Like suppose you and me, if I kill a person, then it's that law will affect us differently. But if a soldier who is actually there in the edges and the protecting the country, if he kills another person, that law will affect it differently, definitely, because it depends on the responsibility of the human being that it is assigned. What for that killing is happening. So that law will affect according to that. Okay. So that's what he is saying. And it determines their duty measured by their responsibility. So how that law, this will be determined by their duty and measured by their responsibility. At present, it can be understood by the man only, and as it affects the human being. So this law will be affected by man only because it is affecting the human beings. Though it is possible that its operation is animate nature may be seen. This is the law. Okay. Everything existing on the physical plane is an exteriorization of the thought. So everything that is existing in this physical plane is an exteriorization. You thought sometime. The thought must be balanced through one who issued the thought and in accordance with one who issued the thought. That is the responsibility. Accordingly, so the conjunction, so when the thought will realize, when the thought will exteriorize, three conditions should happen. That is time, condition, and the place. When the three conditions were happened, we have seen through so many examples. While we are going through the lesson, we have seen so many examples. When this time, condition, and place, all the three things were combined only, your thought will be exteriorized. So that will be there. Once you release the thought, the thought is there in the nature and it will get exteriorized in the course of time. Just to do not, because it was not happened now, don't think that it is not happening. It is the harvesting time from sowing to the planting. There is a harvesting time. Each thought will have the different harvesting time, but it will definitely happen. This law is universal. It reaches all entities without exception. So gods and the weakest beings were without exception. That's what I told. The gods are the weakest beings. They are not exception. It is the same for everybody. All are equally powerless against it. Once this particular law was designed such a way that everybody is powerless. You have to go through this law. This law of thought is the destiny. It has aspects which has been expressed by such a terms: kismat, nemesis, karma, fate, fortune, foreorganization, predestination, providence, the will of God, the law of cause and effect, the law of causation, the retribution, punishment and reward, hell and heaven. So these are all the terms used by the different religions and different philosophies. But whatever you say, this is the law. With that law only, we are just going it. So some may say karma, some may say fate, some may say fortune, some may say it's a predestination, some may say providence, some may say it's the will of God. Anything, whatever you call, that's a law by which everyone is getting operated. The law of thought includes all that is in these terms, but it means more than all of them. It means essentially that thinking is the basic factor in shaping the human destiny. It means essentially thinking is the basic factor in shaping your destiny. So your thoughts are so powerful, friends. So you have to think high. You have to think, as Patri sir is giving, there are 4 different kinds of thoughts, right? So those thoughts, we are always should go with the positive thoughts and miraculous thoughts. We should not go with the disastrous thoughts or the normal thoughts. Go with the miraculous thoughts or positive thoughts only. Then only, because you are making your destiny. So that is what he is saying. And next comes to we will see here, the law of thought, because we ended there, the law of thought, right? Here we'll come to the law of thought. The law of thought is the present everywhere and rules everywhere, and is the law to which all other humans are subservient. All other human beings, there is no deviation from, no exception. This is universal law of thought. Whatever you think, you will become. Whatever you want to get, you will become. So law of thought is universal for everyone. It adjusts the mutuality, interdependent thoughts and plans, and acts the billions of men and women who have died and lived, who will continue to live and die on this earth. So it is adjusting mutually interdependent thoughts. It will bring, as I told, all the thoughts. If say many people are thinking alike, or many people destiny is alike, then it will bring all of them at one place, and then it will do that. Happenings beyond the number, some apparently accounted for, some apparently inexplicable, are marshaled to fit into the limited framework of the time, place and causation. Facts innumerable, near and far, opposite or contradictory, related and unrelated, are worked into the one whole harmonious system. All these thoughts. So the causation, some of the causation, I never thought that I will be going into an accident. You never thought, but if you see, right, whenever your child went out, or you are actually thinking so many negative things, just remember how our thoughts are going. If child is coming, the answer some such and such, by 10 o'clock he or she has to come. If she is not coming, nowadays, because the phone is there, you can just simply ring the phone, and if the answers, that's fine, you will get to know the answer. In any case, their phone was not ringing, or their charge is out, or something else is happening, then what will happen? You will think, your mind goes 100 negative thoughts. So those negative thoughts you are actually releasing. You may not know the causation, what it is happening, but you are releasing unnecessarily. You are releasing a negative thoughts that time. So as we are saying, your thoughts are so powerful. You don't know the causation. When something happened, you don't know the causation, right? So somewhere, sometime you have released that kind of thoughts. Even on the enemy, don't release any negative thoughts, because your thoughts are so powerful. Release only positive thoughts. Release only the miraculous thoughts. Don't release it. It is only by the operation of this law that people exist together on this earth. Okay. Not only the physical acts and their results are thus ordered, the invisible world in which the thoughts originate is likewise adjusted. Even in the invisible world, these thoughts are adjusted. All this adjustment and the universal harmony is out of selfish discord, is brought about by the action of the universal forces operating under the law. And the mechanical part of the operation of this law is physical world may or may not be apparent. Yes, every stone, every plant, every animal, every human, and every event has a place in the great machinery. So the entire universe, everything has a place. And for the working out of the law of thought as a destiny. So this is all come. Suppose if you take iPhone, if you're taking, this is a thought from somebody. We wanted to have this feature. If you take, okay, I want to have a wired phones, we got it. No, this is very difficult. I have to carry my phone. I want to have a wireless. This thought came in some particular person. That thought became exteriorized. He started working on it. He made a team, he explained his things and made the entire team started working on it. So somebody wants to fly, the aeroplane came. So this is all came with the help, with the thought only. Similarly, that's what he's saying. Every animal, human, everything is in the form of the thought only. Human thought about it and it came. Okay, human thought and all this came from the working of the law and thought and the destiny. We will explain. This will come more in the coming future. This also. Each performs a function in the machine, whether a gear, a gauge, or a pin or transmission. Like in the car, every part is doing some function. Similarly, here all these people are doing some functions in the whole world machine. Okay. So similarly, the adjustment of the human. So, however, insignificant part he may be. You may think that it is insignificant, but it also plays some part. He starts the machinery by the law when he starts to think. and by his thinking, he contributes to its continued operation, the machinery of the law in nature. Once you started thinking, one thought was sowed, then continuously how to get that thought to be realized, then you are continuous. The law of nature is still only the phenomenon of the machinery is seen, but the thought behind it is there. A phenomena is the fact of situation that is observed, exist, happen, especially for one whose cause explanation is the question. So the intelligence and the complete triune selves who direct the operation cannot be seen by the human. The intelligence behind it, the triune self, right, that may not be known by the human, that may not be seen by the human being, but that is there for each and every thought. That leads to the many theories about the creation of the human world and about the nature powers and gods and the origin of the nature and the destiny of the human being, how that is done. Such stories are furnished the various of the systems of the religion. So that goes to the, so various religions are giving the various things. Suppose, so that is the, that comes to the religion part again. Okay, next comes to the plan. The nature is the machine. Oh, no, I'll stop here because I don't want to rush here. I can stop. Deepika, you can take over and you can ask for the questions.
Thank you so much, Prasanna garu. It is so beautiful
I just
to
realized.
Recap with the picture. It is making it more clarity. There is more clarity, and so wonderful to revisit the topics what we learned in the initial 10 to 20 classes. So beautiful. Thank you so much for running through this picture and chart. Dear friends and masters, anybody who would like to share your thoughts and opinions and questions, if you have, you can just post them to Prasanna ma'am. Feel free to raise your hands or unmute.
First of all, is it useful to recapping the things?
Yeah, thank you, Prasanna. He revised very well by seeing the table, so easily we can connect to the points.
Thank you.
Made us to understand very easy. And thank you, Balagar. Very well explained.
Yeah, this table, the chart really helps to connect everything.
Yes.
And also it is very useful to summarize like this one, once in a while, every few, last
Because
sessions.
there are 20, this is all again, the idea came from Sirisha garu only, because she said like, let us revise once before we go further. And as I started revising, right, I feel like it's a good idea, very good idea that she got it. Because before we just go further one by one after the other, it's not that something, the race that we are actually reaching a point, right, that we have to reach here. There's no race for us. We are all just gaining the knowledge. So now and then, if we recap what we have already learned, where are we actually? Now, if there is any questions, if you are actually revising it and then move forward, it will be very good to understand the concepts better.
Once the basics are understood, where we understood, then it's easier to follow further. Yeah.
Follow the further, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any questions are there from anybody? Satyanarayan garu, Pushpa, Rajni garu.
I would like to say something. Actually, every thought we all know that every thought is exteriorizing, right? So it's for us, we have to keep one goal for a week of goal. Just watch your thoughts. Don't judge. Just watch your thoughts, how it would be. So let's see the changes.
Yes. First, awareness of our thoughts is very good.
Yeah.
First, so once we are aware of what kind of thoughts we are getting, you can, because there is no need of judging others, because now we know we are the doer, we are the thinker, we are the knowers. There's nobody, somebody else need to come and judge. We ourselves, once we start watching, automatically we can correct our things. Only thing, without watching, if we are just going, then only the problem.
No. In the moment we start watching our thoughts, right, it immediately stops. Like when we think of, seeing and watching and finding out whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought, it immediately stops. All the thought stops. It doesn't even continue. Like we were trying, like Madhvi was saying in another session. So we were trying to watch those things. In the last few weeks, we have been doing that. But the moment we start focusing on them, they're stopping. We are not able to find out whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought, but it's a good thing. At least we are able to cut off the thoughts, or it is nice actually to do that. We become more and more aware of what we are thinking. Good one. Yeah. I think we are good enough. I think it was because it was a revision. I don't think anybody has any questions. So thank you so much, Prasanna Garu, for revising and making the foundation strong with recapping all the old topics.
Yeah.
Thank
Next
you so
week
much.
also I'll share this.
We can continue this.
I'll share
chart.
these two charts, and this chart I'll continue. I'll continue before I go for the psychic destiny, right? Next class also, let us keep it for to make ourselves strong before we go for the psychic destiny. Okay,
Yeah,
2 classes we can make it for these revisions. And if anybody want to prepare for anything, let us know in ahead so that we can reserve some time for you, like we have reserved for the Balagaru today.
Yeah, you can feel free to post it in the WhatsApp group, or you can directly message to Sirisha Garu or anyone in the Prasanna Garu or anybody in the group. So thank you all. Let us meet again next week. Thank you so much.
Post
Prasanna.
this group chart for again, Sirisha Garu. Maybe because these materials we cannot share in all groups that we are sharing, right? We can only share in the Thinking and Destiny group.
Yes.
Okay, if they want to access the material, ask them to join the group, so that because this material sharing in all the groups will be overloading their phones, right? Those who are in the different groups. So let us share in the Thinking and Destiny group.
Prasanna,